Good morning, good morning. Sorry to keep you all waiting. We had some technical difficulties getting started this morning. Give everybody a chance to get the notification. Good morning, Five Little Pumpkins. How are you this morning? Oh boy, this is really making the screen dark. Let's see if I can move this over this way. I don't think that helped. We're still catching the light. I wonder if I do it like this. Nope, it still gets dark. We'll leave it down there for a minute. Oh, that's that light up there. Let's leave that one on and turn the ceiling light off. Had a few difficulties getting started this morning, setting up my little arm that holds my Android phone that I use for doing the lives. We were having some troubles getting it set up this morning, but we are here now, and we are continuing to work on the comfiest cardigan. The last time I was on, we were working on the knit one, purl one rib. I have that over here. I'm going to move this out of the way. We'll keep it handy in case anybody comes in and says, hey, what are you making? Then we can show them. Oh, look how that brightened up when we moved that out of the way. Lighting is everything. I'm going to have to figure out how to get a little bit better lighting. Still trying to get some caffeine in me and get started this morning. What is your all's favorite morning starter drink that gets you up and running? I like coffee. Sometimes I have tea. But when I was on last, I've got a big cup of coffee too. We're ready. A huge, huge coffee mug. It's bigger than my skeiny yarn. Me and Tweety Bird here, we're gonna tackle the morning. He doesn't look too happy to be awake either. But when I was on last, we were working on the Knit 2 Purl 2 rib. Hopefully you've been able to do the 12 rows that were called for in the pattern of the Knit 2 Purl 2 rib. Mine is going to look a little different than yours because I am obviously not using worsted weight yarn. Mine will be a lot longer than yours because I had to accommodate the inches with the stitch count for a smaller yarn. Oh, you got a big Eeyore cup. We're all in the cartoons this morning. And it's pretty comical that Saturday morning we would be up watching cartoons right about now. But we're going to continue on with the stockinette stitch. Stockinette stitch is nothing but knit all the way across on one side. And then you are going to purl all the way back across on the other side. This is really mindless knitting here, and I'm looking. I had dropped some stitches the other day, and I picked them back up, and I probably should have done a little video, and it looks like I might have missed one right there. I don't know if you can see that long stitch right here. Grab a little pointer. This little long stitch right here. I think I missed or wrapped it but didn't knock the stitch off, and then we missed a stitch. Let me look and see what that looks like on the other side. I might have to take that back down. Nope, it looks just fine. I don't see anything wrong. No holes, no missed stitches. So we're okay. It's probably just a little loose stitch, not a missed one. But yeah, we're going to continue on with the knit, the stockinette stitch. In the pattern, I think it calls for 39 inches. If you decide that you don't want this cardigan that long, you can make it smaller, make it less. What I would recommend is whoever you are making it for, hold it up to the shoulder seams on their back and see where it falls before you stop. The other piece is you can measure up to that one to make sure you have the same lengths, as long as you're not pulling and stretching. They'll match up just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll show you again a knit stitch for those of you who might just be joining. And again, deal with me here while I get my hands together. And I need to do one more thing here. Put my little cushion down because I'm leaning on the table and don't want to have my arms all sore. Okay. Tension is something that we talk about too in knitting. You want to have a nice, even tension. This comes with time. You are not going to start off as a new knitter with smooth tension. It just doesn't happen for anybody. So don't be overly critical on your first work. I normally just wrap that yarn around my pinky finger, and then I will take it and grab it here. So it's kind of like this. Take my pinky, go around, and take your index finger, and you're ready to start knitting. Again, there is no right way to hold your yarn. Whatever is comfortable for you. I knit this way. Some people knit this way. It's the difference between English style knitting and continental knitting. I can do both. I prefer continental knitting because I am a lot faster. And it's easier for me to hold my tension that way. But you can knit this way as well. You should see when I work, when I do double knitting, I'll have a strand of yarn over here, and then I'll have another one over here, and I'm knitting with both hands because I'm using two colors. This is pretty smooth for teaching, so that you can see that there are many different ways to knit. And all I'm doing is putting for a knit stitch, you put your needle to the left side of the stitch that you want to do. And there are two what they call legs on this stitch. I want to see if I can't show you that. You see the two legs there. This is the front one, and this one over here is the back one. You're always, sometimes they call them loops, front loop. They'll have you knit through the back loop, which is knitted this way. Your needle always goes behind the needle that your stitches are working on. When you do a purl, we'll show you that when we get to the end of this row. You do both when knitting color works. You use both hands, Paula. Thank you for the rose, Brooks. But yeah, I've got videos where I'm working with both hands. The one sweater that I made in my on my profile, the black and white rose sweater with the cable cuffs, I knitted with two colors. It was more strand knitting than it was double knitting. Double knitting's my favorite thing to do. And after we get to working on this a little bit, I can show you some of the other things that I've worked on, if anybody's curious. Yeah, I cannot do strand knitting and have both yarns in that yarn guide and be able to trap my floats. I just can't do it. I've tried. My brain just will not accept it. Married with 3 children. You're in the process of teaching yourself. I do teach a class right here on TikTok. It is absolutely free. We are crocheting and knitting. I don't know if you're in that class. Please feel free to join. And I'm here every Tuesday from 8 to 10 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Of course, I already have let everyone know that I will not be here this Tuesday morning because I have a very important doctor's appointment that I absolutely can't miss. So, health comes first. Got to take care of me so I can keep teaching you. That's how that works. My mother always used to tell me, you can't serve from an empty cup. If you empty your cup out and you have nothing for yourself, you can't carry on and help others. So always take care of yourself first, and then you'll be there to do what you want to do. Yeah, jump right on in. If you follow me and select the notifications and make sure you get all the notifications, you'll get notifications when I go live. I haven't decided whether I want to probably do class on Monday or maybe do class on Wednesday. I don't know. But I will be here through the week next week doing a live here or there. If anybody from class jumps in and they need help, I will help them. If anybody needs help with patterns, I'm here. Anybody needs help with, a project they're currently working on, I am helping several people working projects. So, and I don't know if Ashley's here this morning. She was working on a very pretty doily type pattern, and I did give her some assistance with that. I was curious as to what it looked like. I hope that she would. Kiki, I have put out feelers for other times. I do have times available. Currently, Tuesday from 8 and 10 is already locked in. But I am also available anytime, any weekday from 8 to 10. Then my husband calls on his lunch break, so I'm off before 10:30. And then I can be back on by 11:30 up until 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I do have times, and I try to keep the times when my husband is home just for family. And thank you for the follows. Welcome, welcome. Morning, Amy. Amy Stitch Joy. Can finally see all my comments now. Got things set up pretty good. But yeah, we're working on the comfiest cardigan. And again, Kiki, if you just drop me a message on when you're available and I can set something up, I'll do my best. My husband understands that this is something that this thoroughly makes me happy. Being able to share my skills with other people and teach, and they can learn. Is there anything, Kiki, that you're currently working on, or do you want to learn, haven't started? Is it knit or crochet that you're interested in? Because I do both. Again, I'm going to slow down here a little bit so I can demonstrate the knit stitch again. Come up a little bit closer here, and I'll watch on my camera view. We're going to be working this stitch right here. You're going to go to the left of the stitch, and you're going to insert your needle, and you're going to catch just the front leg. And you're going to run your needle up behind the needle that you have your stitch on. You're going to wrap counterclockwise, and then this needle here is going to go right back through that loop that you just made, and you have your stitch over here now. This is the stitch from the row below, and we just drop that off the end of the needle. I'll show you that again. Kiki, I can show you how to cast on. If you have stuff, I don't know if you have the ability to do multi-guest. If you want to do multi-guest with me because you have a question, throw it up in the comments first so I can watch for you, because I don't know exactly where the multi-guest pops up over here. David's Life Adventure. You're good at crochet and make all kinds of blankets, hats, and accessories. That is wonderful. I love to see all kinds of people, crafting. This kind of stuff, it brings me joy. It brings me joy. I make things, and I take this, and I make something that you can wear or something that you can use. It's a very valuable skill. It makes me feel productive because I'm pretty much homebound. So it makes me feel it builds my self-esteem, to be honest. It's just very therapeutic. Tension is going to take a little time with your tension. Again, I was showing how I keep tension. It's basically trying to keep this little piece of yarn here snug, but not too snug. Because if you make it too tight, when you come back to catch this row of stitches, you won't be able to get your needle in there. So really, you want for your stitches to these stitches are freely sliding up and down my needle. I recommend when you start knitting that you start with metal needles, simply because it does give you extra slide. The wooden needles tend to grasp the yarn. I don't really use wooden needles unless I have to. I really like the metal ones. But some yarns, they're just so slippery that a wooden needle helps you keep your tension as well. So making sure that you have the right tools for what you're trying to do is really helpful too. So I'm going to finish this row out here and chat with you all a little bit. And I will show you the purl stitch. And is there anyone else in here, if you could give me a holler, that might be working on the comfiest cardigan? If there's anybody in here, just, throw me little hands up, raise your hand. Of course, that's going to be impossible for me to see over here, but I'm going to give you all a little chuckle. I was looking back over some of my older videos talking about starting class and what I was going to demonstrate in the first class, and OMG, that video is horrible. I was talking with my girlfriend yesterday, Brooksy. You're holding your tension just a little bit too tight, David's Life Adventure. Sometimes I only have it like this, and I just hold these two hands and let, the creases of my fingers do most of the tension. But sometimes I need a little extra tension, so hence this. So it kind of has to run around my pinky and then up to this finger. But, sometimes just this is enough, just to pick it up like this and have it across my palm. Just take your index finger, stick it under your yarn, and then grab the rest of it with these two, and that should give you a good bit of tension, because I can tighten that up to where I can't even pull it. You can see it tightening across my index finger up here. And then that, of course, is too tight. One thing that I do, if I'm starting off with a yarn that seems like it wants to knit up too tight, I will knit a couple of stitches, and I will make sure that this does just like this. You can see it is just sliding. And that's what you want to see. You want to see that slide. But you don't want to see it to where your loops are like this, because then you're going to have great big gaps in your work, and when you do tighten this up, this is going to bunch out to the front like this. So tension is important. And it comes with time. AGW, I am currently working on a comfiest cardigan. I have a class started on TikTok on Tuesdays, and someone wanted to make a sweater. They were new to knitting and they wanted to make a sweater, or they had issues with patterns. I can't remember exactly who it was or what the need was to see a sweater being made, but we are working this. I don't know how many people are working it with me, but it was a sweater that I did want to make another for my mother. I have made a couple of these, and they are on my TikTok. One of them I used white yarn and I striped it. I made it striped. I used a white yarn, a dark chocolate brown yarn, and a yarn that was called Reef. And I should have brought it down here today so I could at least show you the colors that are on there. But it is pictured in my on my TikTok. The dark brown actually made the turquoise colors in the Reef pop, and it made it look almost jewel toned. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. But yes, this is the easiest sweater that I have made that would be easy for a new knitter. It would really help you practice your ribbing, which is this knit 2 purl 2 on the bottom, and it will have on the cuffs and on the collar band. It helps you practice your knit stitch and your purl stitch because you do a ton of stockinette stitch on this. And the only shaping that is done to this, and you learn increases, is in the sleeves. Oh, I didn't even see Home Hooking in here. Good morning, Home Hooking. Yes, I have made 2 of these already. Kiki, it is a very beautiful sweater. And this yarn that I'm working with, it is a size 1 weight yarn. I'm using a size 3 circular needle. And the yarn material is bamboo. So this has got, I mean, you can see it's going to have great drape, great flow, and it's really light. Oh, did David share a pattern name? I must have missed it. Oh, Kiki, you gave up knitting because of tension? Please don't give up. I wanted to give up when my mother taught me, and two of my dad's sisters taught my mother how to knit and crochet. And my mother taught me. And because I was taught for free, anything I receive for free, knowledge-wise, I share for free. And that might just be, my ancestry, the way, my ancestors were and the way I was brought up. When you are given knowledge for free, you share it for free. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm sharing my knowledge. My mother shared her knowledge with me on this craft. And thank goodness she has a lot of patience. She taught me when I was 9 to crochet. And I was probably about 11 when I learned to knit. I'm 51 now. So I've been doing this for over 40 years. But I had problems reading patterns. This cardigan pattern is called the comfiest cardigan, and it is by Mama in a Stitch, and you can find it on her website, mamainastitch.com. The link to the pattern itself is in my bio on TikTok. Yes, there are pockets that I will be adding, and I am going to add some accents onto the pockets. I might also add accent, because I'm going to do accents on the pockets. I was thinking, because let me put this to the side here. Here's the pattern. And I was thinking about here on the pockets, maybe doing like a little black stripe in the middle, have some red and a little black stripe and red. And then on this collar band, I could do the same thing, run a black stripe right up and around. I don't know if I want to do it right on the edge or if I want to do it, in the middle of some of the stitches. Oh, you're welcome, Monica. But yeah, I have the link on. If anybody has any issues or any problems, I'm here. You can message me. I will assist you. Yeah, I was thinking about centering it as well, Ashley, giving it like a little sporty stripe, making it like a little sporty type sweater. Yeah, life gets in the way sometimes. But, you have to take time out for yourself. Everybody needs me time. And this is my me time. I take, a little bit of time while my husband and I are watching TV, and I'll do a couple of rows. And, it's very relaxing. And again, I feel productive. I feel like I'm, doing something. I always have to be doing something, and I always have a project going, always. I have like 7 or 8 of them going now, if I count them correctly, and if I count them all. But yeah, I love to knit. I love to crochet. I prefer knit because it's not so hard on my hands as crochet. I have carpal tunnel, and the crochet just kind of really hurts my hands. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, Home Hooking's prepping for market too. Where's your market at, Five Little Pumpkins? Because I've shouted out Jess a couple times. She's got Forest Fest coming up in June. I can give you a holler too. Just got to give me your info. Good morning, Janice. How are you? Yeah, Ashley, I have a lot of other artsy stuff that I'm doing. I've a lot of DIY crafting, and I have Pinterest, and my Pinterest looks like, you know, a crafter going crazy because I don't know. I'll never make all the stuff that I've saved on there to make. Oh, you can't find your needles now. Well, Five Little Pumpkins, when you get a date for your art mart in town, just send me all the information and I'll holler you out right here on TikTok. I'm all about supporting small businesses and just supporting people in general. Hi, Heston Life, how are you? We're working on our sweater. Are you knitting this sweater with us, or you got too many other projects going on? I'm not sure. Yes, Five Little Pumpkins. I'm reaching for the stars, and I'm dragging every one of my friends with me. Come along. I want to see everybody prosper. Everybody. Oh, okay. Oh, Kiki, I'm here. If you don't see me, just message me. I do try to put a video out by Sunday to let you know what we're doing in class. And, you know, I'm here. I pop in during the week. It's just whenever. I haven't really scheduled anything yet, simply because of the health issues. I do try to stay in tune with Tuesdays, definitely for class. But, well, the thing about knitting is it has its abbreviations just like crochet. And if you're new to knitting, it's kind of hard to do the abbreviations because you're stuck with the crochet ones. I had the same issue when my mom taught me, and she actually wrote out the patterns, wrote out the whole abbreviation row by row by row for me to do a pattern because my mother did not want me to get discouraged. I have actually done some of that and am currently doing some of that for a friend of mine, writing out 406 rows of a blanket that I had on Pinterest to make, that she said, hey, I want to double knit, and this is what I want to do. So I'm helping her write out a chart pattern so that she can work through it a little quicker. She's not new to knit, but she's new to double knitting, but she's loving it. She's loving it. But yeah, knitting does, the abbreviations are a little different, and if you've crocheted for years, it's the abbreviations that are going to hang you up a lot when you're trying to read a pattern. I really don't like it. If you need a pattern wrote out, modified mini, I definitely would write one out for you too. Just message me. Just message me. I know I'm probably going to get a ton of messages now, and I'll get to everybody as I can, but I'm here to help. I'm here to help. All right, we're on this back side now, and I'm going to show you the difference between the back side of your material and the front side when you're doing stockinette stitch. You saw the front side where we just did the knit row, and you'll have a bunch of little, what looks like little V's. You can see all these little V's. Let me come up here a little bit closer. Find a little row here, and come right up off of here. You see these little V's. That is a vertical knit row, and you can use those to count. I'm not knock my stitches off the end here, to count how many rows you've done. One thing that I do, and this is getting a little heavy, it's kind of hard to hold it straight. When I'm counting rows, We'll start right here at this little V-stitch. You see these little dark holes here? You can use those little dark holes and count all the way up until you get up to your needle. And then this here is also counted as a row because the last row you just did is on your needles. So you always need to make sure to count the row that's on your needles as well. Yeah. It becomes second nature. I can sit right here right now and just talk up a storm, and I can purl all the way across here without even looking at it. Yes, modified mini, please. If you need help, if you need assistance, if you need stuff wrote out. Sometimes it's the words that people use. So if you don't understand how I'm describing it, please let me know. And sometimes it's just rewording it and you get, aha, I got it. Okay, well, I'm going to show you the purl right now here in a minute. But on the back side of a stockinette stitch, it looks like you have a bunch of little lines that go this way, and they don't match up. They kind of are stacked oddly across each other. And it is harder to count a purl row on the back side. So I don't count on the back side. So on a purl stitch, the purl is just the opposite of a knit stitch. And if you ever take your needles, and I study everything, hence the yarnologist, the study of yarn. I'm going to show you something very quickly, and this might help you to understand a purl stitch. On the knit stitch, we went to the left side of the stitch and went in. On the purl stitch, you're going to go to the right side of the stitch, and you want to make sure that your yarn is to the front. Okay, so I normally pull my yarn to the front of this needle. But you want to make sure that your yarn is this way. On a knit stitch, your yarn is this way. On a purl stitch, you want your yarn to the front. Okay? So I'm just going to hold this here as I demonstrate how you do your stitch here. We're just going to get this and fold this over this way. Okay, for a purl stitch, you're going to go to the right side, and you're going to go into that little V that was created there. And you're going to grab this loop, okay? And you see how your needle's to the front. Now I'm going to hold this together, and I'm going to surprise, shock, and awe. Turn this around. Doesn't that look like a knit stitch with your needle in the back? It is just the opposite, a knit and a purl. Hopefully you saw that. Okay, but let me pull that out again here, and we'll show you how to do the purl stitch. Okay, let me drop this out of the way here so I can get this to where you can see. You go in from the right and in, and then I always double check. Make sure that your yarn is over that needle, and you're going to wrap counterclockwise. Okay, just make sure that you can see that that's wrapping counterclockwise. All right, and then you just back that out through that loop, and then this comes off. Slide my stitches down here, and I'll show you that again. Let me grab this up for my attention. You go. There we go. In from the left and in front of your other needle. Wrap it counterclockwise. And you're only wrapping this needle. You're not wrapping both, just this one. Because this is the stitch that we're making. And then there you are. Knitting and crochet are just a bunch of loops interlocked together. That's all they are. Is a bunch of loops locked together. And I'm watching what I'm doing. I don't know if anybody has made any comments. No. But yeah, there are people that I follow on Instagram. One She knits gloves and blankets and socks. And she does not like to purl. She knits in the round. Even her blankets, she knits in the round. And where the blanket joins, she does 2 purl stitches. When she gets done, yeah, it is slow. My purl row is a little bit slower than my knit row. But I have noticed that when I was knitting and younger, I was so much in a hurry to get the project done. Let's get this project done. I did not take the time to enjoy the process and the peace that sitting here knitting had brought me. Now I just heard something go off and I don't know what it was. And my little host button was going off. I don't know if somebody wanted to live match with me. I don't do that mess. But yeah, just enjoying the process. And, you know, some things. I do notice that I always have a small project going when I have a large project going. And I'll work a little bit on the large project and work some on the small. I need to have small projects to give me little boosts of gratification, you know, little motivational boosters, I would say, to keep going on the big projects. Because sometimes the big projects are like, oh, I'm going to be on this forever. And having a little project along the side that, you know, you can finish up while you're doing the big project, it does boost your motivation to keep going. But yeah, my purl row is, and I'm not really purling really fast. I'm sitting here looking and making sure I'm not missing any comments. But I sit here like this at this pace, maybe a little bit faster, and I can be watching the TV, not even bother to look at my stitches because I'm actually, and I can show you the mechanics of what I'm doing. These fingers are actually, these 2 right here, are actually pushing stitches up. When I push this needle down, this goes off. This finger is pushing the next stitch up, and I'm coming back around. You see my fingers moving? Thumb down, this off, this up. And that is all going on while I'm not watching. And this is the way that I have found that works comfortable for me. Some people do not assist the needle out. It's just that I'm doing this and this at the same time. It keeps my stitches moving. And I'm just able to, you know, almost move along in autopilot, which is fun sometimes too. For everyone just coming in, we're working on the Comfiest Cardigan by Mama in a Stitch. If anyone is interested, the link for the pattern is in my bio. Oh, David's Life Adventure. I made a crocheted blanket for a California king, and it was the crocheted chevron, or what my mom called a zigzag blanket, where you've got the peaks and the valleys. Oh my goodness. And for a California king, and I did it all in black. And it took me several years to get that done because crochet and carpal tunnel do not go well together. But I also made, and I think I have it in my TikTok. If not, I'm going to have to make sure I do, but it is in my Instagram. I made a Oreo cookie blanket for a California king. Now that took some time. Oh, I think I'm starting with the arthritis. This finger here, this knuckle swells up so terrible. And then you can't even touch it. And to have this yarn run across it when it's hurting, oh my goodness. But yep, I keep going. keep going. I couldn't imagine a day without knitting or crocheting or do some type of crafting, DIY, something. I couldn't imagine it. And I take my projects everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. I don't knit so much in the car unless it's, what I call mindless knitting, like rows and rows and rows of stockinette, because I cannot watch my work and be in the car riding. It makes me sick. It makes me sick. I get car sick. But yeah, we are. Ooh, and it took me almost 48 minutes to do what? 2 rows. A lot of explaining in between, I guess. Watching my time here. Continental knitting. Knitting, I don't have so much of an issue with the carpal tunnel. But, yeah, I had demonstrated that where I had it here. I don't know if I can do it as well for you guys to see it with the purl, because of the way that I have to do this. My brain, see, it slows me down, and there goes my tension. My brain just doesn't like to do purls in continental. See, it slows me down too much. I'd be all week trying to get a purl row done. And my technique is probably not what you're used to seeing continental-wise, but this is the way I know how to do purl stitch continental. Knitting continental I can do pretty good. My speed's probably about the same. But I do have autoimmune disease, fibromyalgia, and it messes with the central nervous system. Any messages sent through my body, and sometimes I have a hard time even just doing a regular knitting. But I still keep pushing because I'm not going to let it, shut me down all the way. Life wouldn't be fun if I couldn't create. And that's one of the reasons why I'm glad that I can share this. My oldest daughter, I taught her how to crochet years ago, and she's picked it back up lately, and she wanted to learn how to knit. Now she's totally thrown crochet to the side, and she just wants to knit. But she fought me tooth and nail years ago, wanting to learn how to knit. So I didn't push. I just sat back and created all kinds of things that I thought she'd like to knit, and I suckered her in. And she's probably spending time with her hubby and son today. Grandson, he's turned 1 year old on Wednesday. He's just the cutest little thing. Cutest little thing. Between me and my husband, we have 10 grandchildren. 10 grandchildren. That's a lot. I've got 4 kids. He's got 2 of his own and 2 stepchildren. Welcome, welcome everyone. We are working on the comfiest cardigan by Mama in a Stitch. I have altered the yarn that I'm using. It calls for worsted weight, a size 4, and I'm using probably what they would consider a very light sock yarn, a 1-weight bamboo yarn, and I am working the back piece currently. It's funny, I could see that on the camera, but I couldn't see it in real life. I was trying to find it. I have 2 dogs. And of course, this is a sweater from my mother, and it will be washed. Got that in the wrong spot before she gets it. Any commissions that I do, I put a sheet down over my work table, and I put an apron over my clothes, and I don't allow the dogs in the room that I'm knitting in when I'm doing that, because I don't want to get dog hair all over something that is new for someone else. My family, they understand. They're around my dogs all the time. They get doggy glitter. So another option for an easier pearl is Peruvian. I saw that where they actually pin it to their shirt. I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. I've seen it. It's very interesting. But I've been doing this for over 40 years, and, you know, they say you can teach an old dog new tricks, but they still go back to the old ways. They still go back to the old ways. Yeah. But again, you know, for the arthritis and stuff, the knitting, the arthritis, my hands are going to hurt whether I'm using them or not. So, you know, it just depends on how bad they hurt and all of that. Because hurt and pain and stress on my body with the fibro, it causes all kinds of other issues. My body gets stressed and my mind says, okay, let's send some stress relief, but it kind of goes the opposite way. And I don't understand why it does that, but we are going to do our best to not let it stop us. No, don't you start that. You've been so good. Don't make me put you out. Put you out in the kitchen. I'll put you out in the kitchen. It's probably just your brother. Oh, come on. My little dog is barking. He thinks he needs to protect me from something. My husband's son's probably moving around in the house. Not that I need protection from him, but, you know, my little dog is nuts. And I'm missing comments. I'm sorry, guys. Oh, no, just people joining in. Welcome, welcome. We're working on a knitted sweater by Mama in a Stitch. It's called the Comfiest Cardigan. If anybody's interested in a knit along, they can join. I just pop in and out and show a couple of rows. If anybody has any questions, if you don't want to do them here, you can message me. If you do message me about a pattern, and if it's a paid pattern, I might have to have you send me a snippet of the pattern portion, not the whole pattern, just the line that you're working on if you have a problem. And I will help you. If I can't get to you visual-wise and you don't mind a video being made, I can make a video and post it and tag you. If you don't want a video made, please indicate that in the message. And I will do my best to somehow send you some type of video so you can visually see, along with a description of what you need to do. And we can work it that way. But yeah, again, Oscar, how are you? Again, this is the sweater that we're working on. Why did it turn it sideways? There we go. Oh, now it's going to be stupid. No, it's going to be stupid. I think I need to clean my tablet up because it's been really slow too. Oy. I'm going to have to start printing pictures out because this electronics just aren't working for me. Going to grab a sip of coffee. Would you like to see some of the stuff that I am currently working on? I can share some of that with you today if you're curious about what I am working on, what I have going. Let me pull this one project down. Let me move this out of the way. And I was working on that yesterday as we drove out. I can't even remember where we went yesterday. But that's the wonders of fibro. You don't remember where you went or what you did. I am concerned one day that I will forget how to do this, and I hope I don't. But I am also working on another sweater. Let me see if I can't get this thing to act right. I might be able to show you the sweaters that I had. This one that I just did. I should be able to. This tablet wants to work with me today. And I can show you. The one that I was talking about with the reef color in it. Oh no, we don't want that. Here we go. Get this to load up. And apparently I don't have any just plain pictures of it on here. But I might be able to get this to freeze. I should be able to. So you can see it. I had all kinds of problems with this sweater. Hopefully it doesn't move. Oh, it did. I was trying to pause it, but it didn't pause. I had to take the sweater apart. There were, like I said, so many issues. Why won't it pause? Let me see if I can get it to hold. And that's it right there. Oops. You can't really see it really well in this picture, but on the video you can see that these turquoise colors, they were really, really jewel toned in there. And it was absolutely gorgeous. I'll just show you this picture, that way it doesn't take off rolling on me. This one right here is this, oops, didn't mean to touch it, is, it's going to do whatever it wants to do. It's not cooperating. It's called the Big Comfy Sweater. I can put a link up if anybody's interested. But again, I like to change things up. I like to make things different. I don't always like to follow the pattern or the rules. But I have the ribbing done here. And then I have this gorgeous, gorgeous pattern. Color work. And again, when I'm working this, and I'll just put this in my hands because I don't have the pattern out here in front of me. I'm working with 2 different strands, 2 colors. And you do so many of one color and so many of another color per the chart. What do we got here? We got it wrapped around there. And I'm actually... Alright. I'm actually knitting like this. This hand, this hand, this hand, you know. But I absolutely love to change things up. This should have been a solid color, like you saw on the pattern. But yeah, this is going to be gorgeous. And I'm going to work 22 inches of this color work. And then I get that rippled garter across the top portion and the sleeves. But I'm working on this one as well as the comfiest cardigan. As well as, and I can pull this out, you can see this better. I am modifying this pattern to make a vintage smoker's jacket for my husband. And I'm currently working on sleeve number 1, and I almost made a big mistake. Almost. We have some moss stitch down here. And then we have an embossed diamond stitch. I had to pin the cuff up because I was measuring the sleeve from the turning row. And this is like 4 inches. And it would have took 4 inches off the sleeve. So I almost made a big boo-boo. But we caught it. thank you for sharing. I do have classes on Tuesdays for anybody who wants to learn how to knit or crochet. So if you know anybody who would like to learn, it's absolutely free. All ages are welcome. And I do have a couple more that are right here. I'm also working on a Ronald Weasley blanket, which is knitted squares. I will probably do some of that here on the live because that will help teach just the knit stitch, because they're all garter stitch, which means you knit every row. All garter stitch means you knit every row. This one here is a double knitted blanket. It is the Lord of the Rings blanket, and I've just gotten it started. This is one that I'm writing the pattern out, but also working along. And this is double knitted. Again, I have 2 strands of yarn here. And I'm working both sides of this blanket at the same time. So this side will be light and dark, and the other side will be dark and light. And I will show this as I'm doing it. I might work some on here too, just so you can see how double knitting is done. And these are all knit and purls. Okay, double knitting. 1 stitch is knit, 1 stitch is purl. 1 stitch is knit, 1 stitch is purl. They're only knits and purls. Okay, simply because when you do a purl, it knits it on the other side. It's a knit on the other side. There's the purl right there. On this side, it's a knit. And you're working 2 blankets in one. These do not come apart. They stay stuck together. But you have a light side and a dark side. I've done scarves like this. Harry Potter scarf. I did a geometric scarf. Those are all, should be, in my TikTok. But yeah, this is some of the stuff that I do. And I also have granny squares going all the time. When I run up with just a little tiny bit of yarn, I'll do the granny squares and do that up. And I've showed this the last time. This is a finished baby set. Oh, you're talking about the Lord of the Rings blanket being fancy? Yeah, that's the one that I'm helping Minnie Donkey Lover with. She is working on that as a gift. But this is a little baby set. I've done a bunch of these. And this one is a Lion Brand pattern. It was free. I don't know if it still is. I've had this for years. It's called the Buttery Soft Baby Set. And these are the little booties. The little textured design on the booties. Let's see if I can't. I should stuff these with something so that you can really see the how it lays like this. You can see the little top of the booty. And then, of course, the little stitch work around the top. There's the booties. And then we have a little tam-styled hat. It's a round, flat top. Let's see if I can't get this top to stay up. Little flat top hat. See all your nice even decreases there to bring the hat to a close. And again, you've got that lovely little pattern around the sides. And I did these in the Caron Soft. Simply Soft, So Soft, Caron Soft. But it was the Caron yarn. And then, let me get this put back here. I'll show you the little sweater that goes with it. And it might take me 2 days to do this whole little set. It works up so absolutely fast. And the little sweater is made from the top. You see the little sleeves here. It's made from the top down. It's a raglan style sweater. And it is just, I love it. They work up so quick. So very quick. And these little bands here on this top, or on the sides here, the little button bands, they're done separate. They're done after. You can see where I've picked up the stitches here. And done the little band. Thank you, Modified Minnie and David's Life Adventure. Yes, it is absolutely beautiful. I love it. And it only comes with... Oh, it hasn't been unbuttoned in a while. Unbuttoned at all. With the just 3 little buttons on it. Up around the yoke and the raglan portion. I'll get it to unbutton here. There we go. But yeah, it's just... I love to knit. I love to create things. Just absolutely love it. I have some other baby sweaters that I've done. I like doing baby stuff. I absolutely love to do baby stuff. It works up so fast. And it seems to just want to fly off the shelves. Everybody wants cute, adorable baby stuff. Where did I put that one at? That's why that one is, because that's wonky. Buttonhole. There we go. But yeah, this is some of the stuff that I do. And I've actually done, and I don't know where they are. I'm going to have to show them to you guys. I combined crochet and knit together, and I made Converse slipper socks. Of course, there is a pattern for that. And yes, it was absolutely fun to do. I made a powder blue pair for my husband because he wanted it done in the North Carolina colors. I don't know why, because he doesn't like North Carolina. I guess he just likes the colors. But, and I also did a pair for myself. But when I did mine, I didn't stay so much to the Converse side. And I'll have to find those because I don't think I put those on completed. They're not completed on TikTok. But I use this yarn. Oh, good Lord, dogs. Dogs, just dogs. But yes, I use this yarn right here. It is a, what is that? Knit Picks Sport Weight. But yeah, this is what I do. And I've been very fortunate to find a good group of girls here that I've become friends with through live, and very, very, very supporting community. I just love it. I love it. So, but I'm probably going to go ahead and end for today because I need to take a few minutes to take care of myself so I can keep going on with my day, get my medicines in me and all that kind of stuff. I probably won't be back until the weekday. So probably Monday I'll be jumping on and might try to hold a little bit of class. Anybody who follows will see. And I apologize again for Tuesday because I do have to take care of my health. But I will be back Tuesday next week. You too, Modified Minnie. You have a blessed, blessed day. And I shall see you all next week. If you want to take a look at my TikTok, peruse the stuff that I've made. That is not all that I have made. That is not 50 years worth of work, but I don't have all the pictures. And some of the stuff that I'm currently working on are gifts or surprises, so I can't really show those, but I will after the recipient receives them. So, 5 Little Pumpkins, you have a fantastic day too. And I will see you all next week. Happy crafting.